I love a bit of cock-on-cock action. It's an oil baron's wet dream disguised very poorly as ecological balance maintenance. This entire game is one big checklist of Capcom's kinks. All of these monsters are sexy as fuck with massive tits. Slop time, slop time, slop time, slop time. Who's ready for slop time? You should be. That's why you're here, isn't it? Wait, you mean you're here for me? Simp. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Slop channel. I don't think I need to really give any introduction here because it's kind of obvious. The time has come, and so have I. Because Max0r has released their bi-yearly video, and it's our duty to enjoy it. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the absolute madness of Max0r's latest Monster Hunter video. Okay, so it is some unhinged bullshit time. I can't wait. Max0r never fails to amuse us with his unfathomable Reggie levels of neuroatypicality. In this world, I believe that there are 3 people I can put on a pedestal for people who activate my autistic spectrum in a way that really demonstrates an unfettered and unbridled sort of neurodivergent way of making content. Max0r, Reggie, and Mud and Cena Pants, and all of them I strive to emulate one day. Until then, let's watch this.
What if I told you that there was a genre of game? I know, very hard to believe.
Whoa. Wait a minute. There is a genre of video game? Holy smokes. Next thing you're going to be telling me is that there are games within those genres.
Revolving around the premise of beating up random animals with comically oversized hammers and machine guns. A game genre
You know, when you put Monster Hunter into when you describe Monster Hunter with words, it goes from being something that looks amazingly epic to sounding something a bit like it's straight out of Looney Tunes. Yeah, think about it.
Containing incredibly complex progression that is slightly too specific at times, a wide selection of weapons ranging from the man-sized revolvers to the literal chainsaw, the ability to play as Akuma from Street Fighter for some reason despite the notable lack of streets, and the capability to
the streets of the forest are the vines that we ride.
See the gigantic oncoming lightning Tyrannosaurus, and then decide that you want to parry it. Oh my god, free dopamine!
Listen here, if I can parry my taxes, then you can damn well bet your cotton socks that I can parry that dinosaur. As well as its babies.
I mean, you would probably respond with a great deal of enthusiasm, and I would probably respond by telling you that there is exactly one game series in the autism extinction genre, and I sincerely hope that your computer can...
I'm glad Max0r understands the sentiment of, that Monster Hunter is the thing that is the draw for Monster Hunter is that the game itself is as autistic as the people who play it. I should know because I play it from time to time.
Actually render it. Monster Hunter Wild's Animal Cruelty Edition
Plus,
is
all
a
the monsters
very
are hot
complicated game to explain.
I ain't gonna deny that. I'm a monster fucker. I'll stamp my license.
A moral and ethical one. So I will summarize any hangups regarding the...
Okay, look. Ethics are for humans. Human rights. There are no such thing as monster rights. The only rights that the monster have is the right to die and be turned into a pair of pants. Geneva Convention, more like Geneva. I'm sorry, we quote that meme far too much.
Of various vertebrates with the assurance that life always finds a way. And
but all the complaints people have had about this game, it is amazing. I love this new Monster Hunter game. Yeah, the content cadence is kind of low. But you want to know what? The people who are complaining about Monster Hunter Wilds not having enough content are the same people who never played Monster Hunter Worlds. Dude, Monster Hunter Worlds had the exact same problem. When Monster Hunter Worlds came out, it took about 2 years for the game to have a full-rounded degree of content. Like, give Monster Hunter Wilds time to cook. I know it's been in development for ages. I know it's had time to cook, but it's going to be about a year or so before we get the Master Rank hunts, and then it'll feel like a complete game. Just like how when you tune into my stream, it takes about 15 minutes for you to realize that this is a complete load of horse. Same, but different.
Unthinking pestilence known as the human race, seeking out every variety of
always said in Monster Hunter games, humans are the pestilence. We come in,
the color of their insides.
We come into the monster's location and we merely assert our dominance. Oh, what's that? You've got a societal way of being and the local indigenous wildlife hasn't been asserted to by our way of being? Time to change that. Time to instill our foreign way of existing onto this. Wait a minute, this sounds awfully familiar. This sounds awfully suspiciously familiar. Wait a minute, hold up.
And peacefully relocating them directly into the pit of hell where they belong. Taking
Yeah,
place in the
how
hostile
dare they
and
just
chaotic
exist in our
wasteland
world?
of the outside world.
Listen,
We will have to brave great.
There's only two states of being that these monsters should be in. Either sexy anthropomorphic furry bait or dead. Because if Rule 34 has taught me anything, all of these monsters are sexy as fuck with massive tits.
Fires, momentous floods,
Or big
lightning
ass.
storms, and an
Or big
utterly
cock.
insane amount of GPU load, all for the privilege of destroying the local environment as much
Yeah,
as
no,
humanly possible.
He's very true about that. This game, for as gorgeous as it is, runs like doo-doo. I cannot run my VTube model when this game is running. Because it is optimized out the ass. It's a great game. But you can tell they put all their effort into making you experience what it's like to be on the receiving end of a PETA investigation. Oh, we're gonna come save the animals. Oh, well, if you can't have them, if you're not gonna give up the animals, then no one can have them. Time to get out the old cattle prod.
Along the way, overcoming many varieties of terrifying creatures unknown to God, ranging from the gigantic living police taser to the exploding dragon that is made out of...
That fight, by the way, that might be what this Zingor, whatever his name is, that fight is one of my favorite Monster Hunter fights in any of the Monster Hunter games. It is epic.
Elmer's glue. And yes, unfortunately, I do have to be the bearer of bad news when I say that nobody cares about the story of this game because they are too busy wondering what the inside of a saltwater
It's like any
crocodile
Souls-like
looks
game.
like.
Monster Hunter is certainly the Souls-like of Monster Hunter games.
By saying that
you don't care about the story, and it's all about
Pinocchio
fights.
devouring thousands of bodies, so he
Just
can
like
finally
living in,
become a
Birmingham.
real boy and finally experience real pain. No, you don't understand. He just wants to be a real boy. He just...
I know nobody cares about the story, but I have never not cared about a character so much in my life. Like, sometimes I don't care. There is a level of not caring. But I have never played a game in my life where I've not cared about a character so much as whatever this guy's name was. I cared about him so little, I don't remember what his name is.
wants to live.
I love killing people and eating their bodies.
I'm getting a little bit theatrical here, but the game is about beating up animals
Max0r,
with
why would you
random
blackface
Japanese
your
people,
character?
so let's just begin from the starting. So first
The
of all,
starting?
because I know it's going to be a big point
What
of
a name.
contention, yes, Monster Hunter
Wait.
Wilds.
Oh my god. The chapter of this part of the video is actually called The Starting and everything. Very voluminous. Voluminous. Very voluminous vertebrate violence. Whoa! You're a poet and you didn't know it. How to skin a Tyrannosaurus for fun? You mean there's any other way not to skin a Tyrannosaurus? Wacky weaponry? I'm wacky weaponry. Have you seen the size of my... How are these damage types real? With the power of imagination and Capcom's massive fucking budget and the inability for them to spend even a penny of it on actually balancing the game. Windward Plains, the Blood Forest, the Oil Won't Basement. Funny, I would have thought you would have called it Kaled. Okay. The Nice Shard Cliffs, Martin Luther... Okay, Max0r, I see what you're doing with this,
will feature monsters in
this
it.
video.
Monsters who only play a small part in a large and delicately balanced ecosystem, shaped by millions of years of evolution, which unfortunately did not factor in that a bunch of random bald chimpanzees would
Millions
eventually
of
figure out
years
how
of
to sharpen
evolution,
rocks.
all
So
to
that
be
situation is going to
summarily
changing
punched
soon.
in the...
And if the game simply has
by
to have
a
monsters in
random
it, they might as
dude
well
with a
be dead.
hammer.
But to peacefully relocate
Screw
such
your
charismatic
evolution
megafauna
with a superior life form.
onto my face and my cock, we have to first get...
You see, Max0r, this is why you and me need to do a collab. We understand the importance of cock magic.
into the mindset of our distant ancestors and tap into man's primordial instinct to kill every single animal that is larger than ourselves. You see, humans are what we call persistence hunters, which means that we kill by running down our prey
Funny
for
way
so
of saying
long,
idiots.
it will beg us for death. And for reference, our closest competitors in a marathon are sled dogs and a horse. We run an annual marathon against horses, and sometimes
God damn,
the
you can tell this
people
video's
win.
been in
So
development
whenever
for
you
such a
mount
long
your
time,
gigantic
they've
bird
managed
that
to
you
fit the
cannot
horse game
legally
into
get a
it now.
DUI on, I want you to think very hard about
Like, this video must have been in development for such a long time, because I remember him working on this months ago.
Imagine for a moment that you are this gigantic rooster, and
before that
I
horse
am
game
a
came out.
ravenously hungry Filipino family. After a long and strenuous...
Listen, just because the Filipinos would eat a kitten if it meant they had the ability of putting seasoning on it, you are kind of right, though. That is something that the Filipinos have in common with the monster hunters. They will literally eat the dick off of any monster.
Frontal lobotomy, you run away as far as you possibly can.
See,
with every
cock
single
magic.
escape being a
That
desperate
cock
sprint
can
that
shoot
takes
fire.
the cumulative energy of 15 dead Aurochs. Meanwhile, the player is casually running an entire marathon by slamming down
Jasmine, thank you for
individual
the resub.
cabbages and using his sweat to radiate the heat
Jasmine.
equivalent of the fucking sun. Christ is alive on Earth and he is very hungry.
Listen, if they didn't want you to abuse the cosmetic designs to make you look like the center of a collapsing star, why do they give you the ability to do it to begin with, huh? Take that, liberals!
The fucking sun. Christ is alive on Earth and he is very hungry. And while
Totally
we're on the topic of
accurate,
discussing biology,
biblically
which
accurate
this game treats
angel
as
right
less of
there.
a suggestion and more like a restraining order, every monster in Wilds behaves and operates just like a real animal.
I will say, this is the first Monster Hunter game I've played where ranged weapons feel like they're worth using. And they're badass as hell. I mean, look at that thing, it's a goddamn LMG!
Impressively stupid and incredibly likely to get shot.
Dude, somebody make a mod for the game that turns the bow gun into an MG42. I want to see the German thunder rain down upon these monsters with a hot brrr on their face.
By something. Oh my god. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Bro got hit with that Costco rotisserie chicken. Usually both at once. And just like real
Only difference between that and the
breathe
rotisserie
ice and
chicken is
have
the rotisserie
gigantic
chicken's
laser beams,
edible.
These wonderful beasts are extremely territorial, even going so far
Well,
as to
you
pick
say,
random fights.
okay, the term territorial, can you honestly blame them when we've come into their land and taken their food and killed their... It's almost like there was an equilibrium that when we got here for some reason kind of became a little bit skewy. I'm not saying there's a correlation between us randomly arriving and the fact that the entire ecosystem got put up on its ass, but you know, we did have to find the oil. Guys, the oil, we're not saying that we came here for the oil, but by the founding fathers, there just happened to be oil in the local area when we came for our very diligent walk. You know, we were just going for a walk in a completely foreign land, and oh, what do you know, there's oil. I mean, if you're not using it, then I guess we will.
While you were in the process of killing them. We are trying to stab you. That is a completely unrelated animal. Every single
Violence.
time, without exception.
Violence! Who loves violence? We love violence! Turf war! Turf war! Storage wars.
We are not showing this shit on National Geographic, dude. This lightning lizard may be missing most of his tendons and probably half his skull, but by God...
Hey guys, do you want to take a wild assumption?
He is absolutely going for that shit.
And I'm gonna be the
honestly,
first
at this
person to
point,
say it.
I am pretty
I
convinced
hope
that
he
most of them
doesn't.
don't even need to
I
do
hope
this
he finds
because they're
something
just
else
in it
to
for
make a
the
video
love
on.
of the game. I was thinking I could play soon. You guys chill over there for now. I need to drink. I need to drink. I need to drink. I need to drink. Bro's got
I
beef
want
with
him
my
to make a
chronic
video
alcoholism.
on something
Oh my
he
God,
wants to make a video
I
on.
just killed this. It's not yours.
Wait, oh, I forgot to go. I gotta go.
We fucking did it, guys. I want to thank
Yeah,
everyone
we
who gave
did
their
it.
lives
It
to
only
my
cost
3
us
guardian
everything.
Folger gems. These belligerent buffalo are also similar to their real-life counterparts in that each one has a natural habitat,
katana user.
6 feet underneath the ground, with some residing in a multitude
Get
of
you a bow,
unique
there you
environments,
go.
while
Actually
others are
using the bow.
severely endangered species whose endemic habitat consists entirely of a single room. Oh fuck, Ice Dragon's got
Whoa, a
hands.
single
Oh, are
room?
you
That's like
trapped, guys?
their
No,
home
I'm
or
actually doing quite
something.
well right now, thanks for asking.
Also, by the way, this boss, you must fight using the dual blades, because there is nothing more satisfying than using the special attack on your dual blades to do a Beyblade spin all the way down its back for eternity.
Dude, this is like he builds like a fucking snow fort like Squidward.
Oh my fucking God, what is Squidward doing? Not that I have anything to
Squidward.
do with that. Which, of course, begs the question, why is the pink gorilla, whose entire diet consists of mushrooms and honey, also found in the biological weapons repository? Congolala...
Well, you see, it's because America saw this dude with all of that gas in its ass and said, Iraq has anthropomorphized its weapons of mass destruction into one gorilla-shaped weapon.
Be like, where are the hoes at? My brother in Christ, this is a nuclear weapons testing facility. There are no hoes here.
Actually, a weapon just past Metal Gear.
Don't hurt him. He's just a boy. Leave him alone.
We will return to the
He's just a
subject
boy,
at a different
but he's
time.
got some of that
Also, did I
weapons
mention that
grade
the monsters can vary in
snap?
size a lot?
Yo, that is a... Look how big he is. Look how big he is.
Why is he so... Oh my god! Dude, he's getting mocked!
I love a bit of cock-on-cock action. Oh, come on! You guys fully know that this was an easy one.
You versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. I'm really glad we can include a cock size comparison in this
Yeah, by the way, biggest cock tops.
video. But on the subject of extremely funny animal abuse, you will notice that this game
tentacles.
has a distinct lack of health bars. Because the main way of keeping tabs on our
By the way, if you mod this game to put health bars or a DPS meter in, you are officially the basicest bitch imaginable, and you're probably the kind of person who likes to, who considers that water with sugar in is spicy.
prey is by judging how many times they have tried to escape us, and by counting the amount of broken bones they have. Oh my god.
Nah,
left
broken
wing
bones are merely a way of
I just really like the
depicting how much
idea of,
loot
like,
you're gonna
Ben
get.
Shapiro just
More
getting on an
broken
airplane and
bones,
screaming left wing
more
destroyed and the
food
fucking
swap.
plane crashes. If the pilot doesn't show me his pronouns, I'm jumping off that fucking plane. Slowly and painfully torturing them to death over 20 miles until you decide to put them out of their misery. And those are the lucky ones. Because optionally, capturing the monsters for later use in my circus will always give us more body parts than skinning them, including but not limited to their skulls
When you
and
capture them,
limbs.
guys,
The
this
only
is why
logical
capturing is so vitally important. If you capture them, they get to spend all that time. No, they get double fold experience. They get the first experience of having to be in your presence for more than 5 minutes, gawking in amazement at your fine fashion, making you look like Ronald McDonald having an epileptic fit, and then they get a second experience of actually then being murderized by you. And all the time in between, they'll sit there in fear. And that's how you send a message.
Conclusion being that every time we capture a monster, we are literally disassembling them. And the
Never mind.
smarter the animal, the greater the agony it can feel when I capture its heart from its still living body. Do you know how much oil you could produce by pressing an engine act together? So aside from
Yes, I'm glad that Max0r understands the allegory for this being literally America going to any country to find oil.
just the raw thrill of putting a living being through the process of sustained simian suffering, why do we even bother hunting the monsters? And what is there to gain besides the continued operation?
Well, the higher-ups are gonna gaslight us by saying balance, but we all really know it's for the oil. It's always gonna be for the oil. It's an oil baron's wet dream disguised very poorly as ecological balance maintenance.
Of my Chinese wet market? The answer, of course, is their skin. I promise I am going somewhere with this. Apes are like the
And get the resubs,
uncanny valley of animals.
Is that why you rip their skulls out and wear them, Max?
Yes? I'm gonna fucking traumatize.
Would give any money in the world if there was a mod that allowed us to get glory kills a la Doom style. Wait, did you know that we have a Discord and a Twitch? No? Well, now you do. So what are you waiting for? Why don't you click those little links over there and be part of the fun? Just like the rest of us cool kids, you know what I'm saying? For the monster hunting. Let us see our characters tear the skull from the skin of these monsters. I'm not a megalomaniac. I just love to watch blood gush down my face.
Traumatize a child next Halloween. I'm gonna run up to them with this mask and be like,
Not a
"Your mom is
megalomaniac,
dead. You're
a
in
sociopath.
hell.
Get it
Your mom is
right."
dead. You're in hell." You see, the basic gameplay loop of Angry Birds is essentially to find new and amazing animals to turn inside out, and then fashioning yourself the perfect drip out of their intestines. Then use those intestines to hunt bigger and better monsters.
I think realistically, the problem with Monster Hunter isn't that it's really a problem of ethical ramifications. It's an education problem, because these people who are going and hunting these monsters have all been educated that these monsters are just inferior life forms and that they deserve nothing more than being turned into pelts and shoulder pads and waist guards and everything else of such nature. The problem with this game isn't that we're teaching people bad ethics. It's that we need to really help people learn from the ground up that, you know, equality is a thing and that monsters deserve just as many rights as you do. Oh, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
monsters, so we can further contribute to the endangered
Sorry, I
species
can't help
list.
but joke every now and
Imagine for a
again.
moment that you and your friends are trying to build you a level 1 talisman of mushroom consumption, so you go and kill the giant farting monkey to put his teeth in it. When your friend tells you that he needs to build a rarity 6 Rathian bow, so he can later construct his level 8 Goo Goo Magaga dragon penetrator. So you go and kill both genders of that monster.
I do
and
like my
another friend
bows.
is like, hey,
I
can
am
we
a
fuck up
bow
the lightning T-Rex
or
while we're at
greatsword
it?
user.
I need to specifically cut out his nose bone 4 times to construct my Guardian Fulgur Anjanath Beta helmet. That way I can sync it with
And
the
then you got
skill
to do
I
it
got
all
from
over
farming
again
a
when the
cracked
master
out
ranks come
nuclear
out.
dragon 30 times in a row. So you do that, and then the previous friend just goes like, never mind guys, we need to kill the evil-ass metal lizard for my second hunting horn called Precipice Covira, so I can spend a grand total of 60 more seconds every hunt combining that with the fucking war bongos. And after about 40 more
But
hours
what
of
if you
this,
wanna jam?
you are officially fighting God, and you have every single hunting horn buff known to mankind. That would be the intended experience.
You know,
therefore, one of the most
Quebec in my chat just said it's Dark Souls doing things over and over again. Yeah, it's basically Dark Souls. Only self-aware as to how pointless the grind is. It's not about the destination, it's about how much fun you have extincting the local wildlife.
important customization options in Berry Potter and the Sorcerer's Gun is the construction of a meticulously crafted build, containing within it the bones of an entire ecosystem, alongside a myriad of highly useful and effective skill builds, like the fast food build, the eating less build, the eating for free
Fast
build,
food build?
the
I call that
grilling
the
build.
I'm a glutton, have
I
no
don't know why so
self-control
many of these
build.
are related to eating,
Faster
the
I eat, the
resistance to
fuller I'll be,
farting
clearly.
build, the shooting people build, just in case you are hunting in the streets, the bleed
Missed out a perfect joke to say that you were in the lower city of Detroit there, but hey, okay.
resistance build, when only one guy sometimes does bleed damage, the build where you do not hear things, the build where you do more damage as long as you are covered in soap, the build
That you do more damage when the monster can be mistaken for a femboy. That's my favorite build.
where you get resistance against impairments to mobility while in
Okay, this might sound a bit unhinged, but is there a build that increases the amount of damage you do depending on how sexy and breedable the monsters look? Because if there is, for no particular reason, I need to know that build.
water, oil, silt, or streams. And lest we forget the mushroom consumption build, which is actually a really good skill to have if you can just memorize the exact buffs and utility of every single mushroom.
Max, you have to stop the mushroom bit. It's gone on far too long.
Shut up, it's good. I promise you it's good. You were going to feel so much pain when I'm done tripping the fuck out. Speaking of eating material that we do not yet fully understand.
Guys, the world will like you to believe that mushrooms are unhealthy for you. But what we don't realize is that mushrooms are all just a way to consume gamer subs. You're gonna have a very eye-opening moment when you realize that all the mushrooms in this game are just different flavors of gamer subs. Shy Lily has had her way with Monster Hunter. Womp, goddamn womp.
As you can tell by the plethora of skills dedicated to it, eating in this game is considered a very important game mechanic, not just for the skills they offer, but also for your
Food
basic
porn, my
biological
favorite.
functions. Your body is a helicopter powered by dead chickens, and you will be one-shot by one if you do not eat. So while you do have the option of making yourself a bespoke amalgamation of calories in which you disgustingly glaze a cabbage with honey and
There is no realm that you could possibly live in where honeyed celery would ever be a viable sustainable food source. Disgusting! Gordon Ramsay having a fucking seizure in the background because I dared to make my food in less than 6 hours.
and feed it to the void, we are going to be doing our best to have our meals made for us in frankly unnecessary detail the proper way. Delivered exclusively by
Ugh.
sentient cats
Why
who
would you
are
ever
all
choose
forced to
Bat
seek
Feast
employment
above
in
all
my
else?
kitchens for
What are you,
company
vegan?
script. Racial segregation has never been so delicious.
Yeah,
But
forget the
by far,
violations
my
against the
favorite
animal
tasting
kingdom.
consumable for
The only
use in
violation
rapidly
I know
filling
in
my
this is the
stamina
people who
bar
choose
is a
actively
special
to
item
eat the
sold
food from
only
the
in the
fucking
description
caves.
store called Gamer Sups Energy Drinks.
That's
Now
what I'm
officially
saying.
and only drinkable using the limited edition Max0r cup. Also officially and only spillable on the limited edition Max0r mousepad. I will be checking your house for compliance, because when making high quality and eloquently designed Max0r merchandise, I wanted to communicate exactly what it looks like when you edit videos for 10 hours a day and it slowly, eventually eating away at all the silence and darkness in the world until your existence is not but a broad streak of neon light. So for that specific
That's my
reason,
destiny.
I made sure that the mousepad glows. And when I
That's
need
my
to negate the
destiny.
damage
I'm gonna make those
sustained
kind of
to my
videos
health
myself
bar,
one day.
I drink my GamerSupps energy from the limited edition Max0r cup. Unlike some other products,
Whoa,
you will be
Max0r
able to
cup?
take it outside
What about
and
Kari
show
cup?
your family. So use code Max0r
Oh wait, Kari Cup already exists.
with a 0 at the description store for money off my cup and giant-ass mousepad. Because
That is a
much
very
like
cool
the
mousepad,
now extinct
though.
Shotacabra, once it is gone, it is never coming back. Also, did I mention that you can just casually begin eating and drinking directly in front of the monsters in this?
Of course, that is the way. If you're not flexing on the monster by pulling out your griddle, frying up an entire steak and consuming it in the middle of a fight to assert your authority, are you really playing Monster Hunter? I don't think so.
Game? Okay, enjoy the fight, fellas. I've got some grilling to do.
Surf
Actually,
and turf.
fucking grilling right now?
Yes, glaze that shit. It is so delicious. You guys are doing great, by the way. It is so good, though. Oh. Anyways, back to the fight.
Oopsie.
Oh, shit, I gotta eat. I'm sorry, hold on.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
I hope the Dashguin doesn't give me the hots.
So about that. So about that.
Monkey
So
doesn't
now
like
that
you
we've
eating
covered your
without them.
motivations and the highly particular meta progression
Here's
of
the
this.
problem. If you're gonna pull out your griddle midway through a fight, unless you have the aura to keep that monster at bay, you better be ready to share your food with the monster. And by your food, I mean you. You are the food. Congratulations, you're a steak. Good thing you're well done. Haha.
Game, this skill is giving me +3 attack when wet.
+3, only +3 attack when wet? God, you gotta get on my level. I've got the mega awesome wet build, because I get +69 damage to your mom when I'm wet.
What the fuck? We are in the fucking explosion chamber, my guy. We need to go over exactly what we're going to do with that skin, and the best ways that we can export explosive warheads into monster foreheads. Facilitating
Well,
our
first you
builds
get
using
gun,
a vast array of
and then
armor
you need
sets
more
with some
gun.
of the most unhinged appearances that I have ever seen in a video game.
Look, just because you can fashion yourself to look like a goddamn fetus doesn't mean that that's bad fashion. That just means that it's not your style and that you need to get off my ass and work on your own fashion, you goddamn void creature.
Utterly convincing me that we are not merely taking
my
the bodies of our
prerogative if I
victims,
want to
but
look
also
like a
their
fetus.
very essence and immortal souls. Japan is basically what happens when you let the circus declare independence.
That's the same thing that I just said, but with more words.
What I am trying to lie about right now is that your appearance and dress is a very important part of this game.
True.
With a lot of options to pick from and an
Because if you look like a bitch, I don't want to know you.
extremely in-depth character creator, which not only allows me, but encourages me to play the entire game as a sentient void, who has only known hunger and destruction for his entire eternal existence. Jesus Christ, get
It's at this point you realize the Monster Hunter is a horror game.
this fucking thing away from me. As well as enabling some truly amazing crossovers.
Mr. Squidward!
Jesus Christ!
But perhaps
Mr.
even more important
Krabs!
than our large selection of
That can't-
delightfully normal
That can't be real. Mr. Krabs doesn't do his own work.
outfits is our choice of up to 14 ridiculously massive weapons, all of them completely different.
I mean, real talk here though, Max0r. It's all well and good that you saying the fashion matters. That is, right up until the point that somebody mods the ability to make you look like 2B in the game, at which point the fashion doesn't matter because you're just gonna be looking at your ass the entire time.
Different from each other, like the light bow gun, or the heavy bow gun, or the bow, or the gun.
Bow users.
And in order to better educate
By the
you
way,
on
bow
how to
users
best
are
inflict
hot,
animal
just by the way, just so you know.
disassembly, I have taken it upon myself to
If
learn
you're a,
every single
katana
weapon.
user, you're a basic
course of
bitch,
action
just so
which
you
will
know.
soon see. I am going to
My opinion
sincerely
matters more than
regret.
anyone else's, by the way.
This list is 100% accurate, and you can watch it in place of any tutorial.
Oh, he fell asleep.
Joe Cat would like to know your location. Actually, speaking of Joe Cat, I'm going to be hopefully doing a collab with Joe Cat in the near future with a bunch of other goobers that I'll be playing a repo with. I'm sorry.
Hold up.
Wait, that's an attack!
Ow.
Sorry, Reese, I'm new to every weapon. The gun lance is the extremely slow, extremely defensive, and downright diabetic answer to the age-old question of license and registration. Because the only people in this world that I can trust are my two close
to be
friends,
registered to the
Smith
corpse.
and Wesson. Oh, look who fell asleep first at the sleepover.
Oh, sorry, I'm just scraping the
I'm glad
cereal
Max0r
off
knows
my
how to wake up the
gun lights real
homies.
quick.
Why?
As we all know, you wake up the homies by blowing them. Wait, did I misread that?
Hey.
Unspecified reasons.
This weapon is for stupid people who don't want to build stupid things like
Yeah. Pretty fucking stupid.
elemental damage or the entire endgame weapon system, so you do exactly one combo on this weapon, and if the monster slips on a banana peel, you will unfortunately be forced to euthanize it. The lance.
Then you use the bow, you line up a shot right up the monster's rectum, and you watch as the numbers go all the way up the length of the monster's body and vivisects it, ready to be splayed out and to be shown in the local National Animal Museum of stupid monsters that allowed them to get a rectal probe.
Is like the gun lance if it was bigger than your entire character for some reason and did not have a gun, making this the perfect choice for a diagnosed schizophrenic.
Okay, so you can use the
This weapon
lance,
is for people
or
who really,
you can use the lance,
really
but
do
with,
not want to get hit and would rather directly face tank an entire laser beam or
founding
the
fathers'
fire of a
motif
death
behind
god,
it.
rather than being momentarily exposed to sentient thought. Coincidentally, the lance directly scales in its effectiveness based on how much crack the monster is doing, because the more damage that you can perfect guard, the more damage that you can deal. A utility that is extremely convenient when 90% of the monsters are all stupid
Yes.
and have 3 other hungry Chinese orphans to attack instead.
Oh, that's right. This game must be in China because they keep eating your pets.
Blocked them. The hammer is one of the most humane options in the entire game because it is capable of destroying the part of the monster's brain that can process pain, and is best
True.
utilized when charging up gigantic attacks
Very factual.
for
Can't feel
absolutely
pain if you
longer
don't have a
than is
brain.
reasonably necessary.
Also has one of the most aura farming moves in the entire game. Nothing says aura farming like spinning your hammer around like an absolute unit.
Okay, so I gotta get closer. I gotta
the
get closer. I gotta get closer. I gotta get closer. Okay, now I'm closer.
Oh my god!
As well as getting together
It's
with your
such a
friends to build
meme
a
thing.
house in Minecraft. I'm hitting this motherfucker with that diamond pickaxe shit.
It really does look like it's fucking...
The insect glaive is a weapon that enables the player to fly indefinitely.
Okay, I lied earlier, by the way. I am an insect glaive user and a bow user main, with great sword as my training weapon. I have always been an insect glaive superiority advocate because flying above you with my superiority at you terrestrial dwellers makes me realize that you're all inferior by comparison to us who are elevated to the standards of flight.
Bypassing the majority of attacks and intended design of this game, as well as sporting a gigantic bee that you can tie C4 high explosives to and throw directly into the monster's ribcage.
Yeah, and it says the insect glaive
there
is the
is
best
an
weapon.
upgrade
It's
tree and
lying.
an entire stat system dedicated to making slightly different bees. We can also use the insect glaive to repeatedly
Slightly more
mount the
bees
monster,
will help
allowing
solve
me
this
to
problem.
automatically spam my custom dialogue callouts to completely random Japanese people, which, fun fact, can be fully customized for a variety of actions, such as yelling truth nuke incoming whenever I place a bomb, and preemptively diagnosing the causes of my teammate's death.
I made every single one of my callouts some kind of iteration of slander that the teammates are going to sleep with the monsters. Because I'm just that based.
Which is very funny.
Kill you, Max. They're never going to find the body.
Also, you can parry with this weapon while in midair. I
Damn straight.
parried that motherfucker at cruising altitude. I'm the fucking best. I love this game. That
Insect
is my
glaive is
entire
the one
weekly
that you
dopamine supply
fight with
gone
if you want to look
instantly.
like a badass.
The sword
I will
and
not hit
shield
any
is-
word of it.
Is
It's a Joe Cat meme and no one actually uses it. If you want to be the most loner guy you've ever been in your life, you use the sword and shield user. Because when you start walking around with a sword and shield, everyone will look at you like, oh my god. Oh my god. They escaped the loony bin. Yo guys, check it out. This guy's using the sword and shield. See, nobody cares.
a weapon. You could certainly choose to play it. Or you could choose not to. The Charge Blade is a sword and shield which requires a dual major in theoretical rocket science and aboriginal water philosophy to actually use and play correctly. Do you like the idea of switching dynamically between a nimble blade and a heavy axe?
See,
If
I
so,
like the
that's great,
idea of
because
the
you're
Charge
actually gonna be
Blade,
playing as
but
the
it's
chainsaw.
so problematic
A
to actually
chainsaw with
use.
a multi-step assembly process involving the separate charging of at least 2 different things by way of perfect blocking and wound taking and a charge combo and canceling another combo, and also you charge the sword and you can charge the vials faster and you can overload them and you can find this.
This is the people who use the Charge Blade are the same people who play EVE Online. They play their games with a spreadsheet.
On the next episode of How It's Made. Today on How It's Made. Please don't do this to me, I have a family. Euthanasia gas is created by combining The Switch Axe is the incredibly satisfying portable microwave for those of us who like the idea of switching between
Now
a
the
nimble
Switch Axe
blade
is
and
the
a
Charge Blade, but better.
heavy axe. Where instead of moving dynamically between 2 heavily contrasting playstyles, we instead decide to randomly vibrate in place half the time, and then later discharge the internal components of a very large glow stick. An action which I can do several times in a row, because I slotted in the funny skill which appears to be entirely bugged, and will double the time that I can spend doing that, thereby trivializing the monster health for the remaining 70 hours of gameplay. Very balanced, Crapcom. Please don't listen to the haters. The Greatsword is the tremendously damaging, tremendously high-capable weapon that spends about half its time doing nothing, and the other half delivering monsters the approximate mass of the observable universe.
Listen here, don't let the haters let you believe that you don't have the right to turn monsters into a goddamn puddle on the ground. Just because they'll sit there slandering you and going, oh, you're not using the right weapon. Listen, it's a choice, and you electively get to use them, make those choices, but every choice comes with a consequence, and the consequence of your actions of using anything other than the insect blade is that you're going to get nay-nayed upon by the insect glaives superiorly flying above you. Comprende?
This is the funny dopamine weapon, whose entire utility and primary playstyle consists mainly of
It's not about how
ignoring your
much
health
damage
bar
it does,
and
it's how
fishing
good
for the
you look
funny
doing it.
parry attacks. Oh, that hits the spot, yeah. Which are absolutely unnecessary, extremely addiction-forming, and comprises the entire basis of my build and
understands that the game is trying to make you form addictive
Do not
habits.
ask me to do anything useful,
And my
please.
addictive habit with this game
is my main weapon, and I only know one of its moves.
Repopulation. Guys, I'm sorry to admit that this is the part where I reveal to you that the reason why there are so many monsters in this game is that I exist. I came to these lands to help repopulate the the monster kingdom. Without me, you would not have monsters to hunt. You are killing my children every time you kill a monster. Because I am that middle ground between monster and man, and I will be the one to help satiate both sides. I get a good and you guys get something to fight.
The longsword is the extremely wacky designated tool for the profession of aura agriculture, and is comprised entirely of the most extra attack animations that I have ever seen, alongside having 2 completely different parry mechanics for seemingly no good reason, other than trying to look like a
Max0r,
divorced
of course
dad's
there's a
conception
reason.
of
It's to look like a
intimidating.
baller.
A true samurai does not concern himself with child support payments. Therefore, this weapon is...
A foolish samurai warrior stepped forth to oppose, and I flung him into the past, where Monster Hunter 2 was relevant, and now the longsword user no longer exists because Capcom didn't think Big Shiny Sword was worthwhile using.
is always to be played entirely in character, complete with in-character clothing, in-character auto-communication, and a mandatory soundtrack comprised entirely of evanescence and skill hit. To me, Crazy Frog is just regular frog, and Monster Hunter is just regular hunter. But if it's the aesthetics of the grave that you crave, then look no further than the absolute hyperactivity of the dual.
Yes, yes! The dual blades, the equivalent of turning into a giant fucking vampire and sucking the soul from the enemy.
Blades. The only weapon in this entire game that you can play from beginning to end without needing to browse increasingly racist TikToks. I am so stimulated right now. They got the dancing fruit and shit. Is this Monster Hunter Rise? These are the funny number knives, whose primary function is to keep the...
Gotta be honest, like, Monster Hunter Wilds feels like the weirdest balance between Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Worlds I've ever seen. Like, they said it couldn't be done, but it's got the sort of speed and fluidity of what Rise, whilst having the openness and groundedness of Worlds. I can't wait for another couple of years when Wilds is finally playable.
Player increasingly and concerningly preoccupied with transforming the screen into Cocomelon for mathematicians, all while juggling a variety of powered-up states such as Demon Mode, which is used to charge up the Arch-Demon Mode, and perfectly evade your enemies to finally enter Gay Sex Mode. Okay, I made that one up.
Whoa! I didn't realize that there was a form that's even further beyond. You go Demon Mode. Demon Mode! Evolving to Mega Demon Mode! Evolving to Evasion Mode! Evolving to Fuck Your Dad Mode.
That is not the name of the mode, but if you pick this weapon, you might as well be honest. The dual blades also come with one of the funniest attacks in the entire game, where you sort of just casually chain backflip along the entire length of any given...
If you think that that isn't fun to do, then I'm sorry, but that lobotomy that you had is showing. There is no world where doing your funny spoon attack down the back of an enemy is not some level of catharsis. And if you really do think that that isn't fun, I honestly feel so sorry for anyone around you that has to sit there whilst you watch paint dry.
Monster, which against some monsters is a...
That's what I mean!
a little bit silly. The hunting
You say
horn is
silly,
the preferred
I
weapon
say
for hunters
hee-hoo.
who want to simulate rock
I
band for
say
engineering
do it again.
students, while unfortunately suffering from a praise kink. Because every single time you decide to heal your team, they are going to begin reenacting the...
Right, I am calling someone out in my chat right now. Quebec, where the fuck are you? This one's for you, buddy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Every time we ever talk about Monster Hunter, this motherfucker right here, every stream, it is their responsibility to mention the hammer, this weapon. Yeah, this weapon, the fucking hunting horn. They have to mention the hunting horn at least once because they're suffering from that inferiority complex. Because it's a superior weapon. See what I mean? See what I mean? They're actually proving Max0r's point correct. They have to get glazed. They have to have some kind of cope for the fact that they're using a weapon that is basically a praise kink.
End of Evangelion.
I helped you, now praise me for it.
This is the most overpowered weapon in the entire game, solely due to its ability to give 3 exceptionally stupid baboons so many completely insane buffs and resistances that they will not even be able to kill themselves. Dude, what are these fucking buffs you keep giving me? I don't know what any of this means and it scares me. With the only caveat being that this weapon has so many combinations to perform with so many variations that you have to have the button guide on the top right of your screen at all times just to play the video game. And even then, playing would be a generous term. The bow is the popular and charismatic ranged option which behaves less like a precision projectile passer and more like a shotgun that is mounted on a surfboard.
I'm tooting.
This weapon has a very evasive and reactive playstyle.
That's why I love this one. That dodge capability is so much fun. Not to mention homing missiles.
Whereupon
this is one of the weapons that I think had the biggest upgrade from Worlds to Wilds. The homing missiles, the dodge, the bow feels like a complete weapon now, and I love it.
Player reacts to everything the monster does by running out of stamina and collapsing like an anemic hen.
Now, I know this sounds like not a good selling point for the bow, but if you're always out of stamina, you always get that juicy feeling of having to get your energy back.
Nevertheless,
And you'll never be
when
able to
you
run away
actually
from me.
have energy, the bow has the ability to dodge everything in the game, take every wound on the monster with funny tracking arrows, much to the annoyance of everyone else.
Listen. As a bow user, it is my duty to take all of the wounds for myself, because I chose to be legless and superior. If you wanted to get those wounds, you should have chose the bow as well. That's more of a story for you to apologize for not choosing a superior weapon. You bitch.
And use at least 5 different varieties of illicit drugs with which to fire directly into the monster's exposed veins. Because just doing damage to them is no longer enough, and I want this white devil to suffer before he dies. The heavy bow gun, and it's legally
what's that flavor? It's neurotoxic!
Distinct counterpart, the light bow gun, are just actual modern machine guns with no bow involved in the equation. Those are just bullets coming out. These weapons are extremely versatile, allowing you not only the choice between a large amount of ammunition, as well as the privilege to individually purchase every single variety in the local Costco at your personal expense, but also the choice between an ungodly, incomprehensible variety of stats, all of which can be individually modified for your personal preference. So
just for when the 50 cal needs to do a little bit more 50 cal.
As long as you can understand the Excel spreadsheet. But my god, once you get past all that shit, it is incredibly funny to spray the dinosaurs with literal machine gun fire, so as to remind them that they are not the ones who are
Capcom were literally sat there thinking to themselves, you know what the game really needs? The game needs a... The game needs a Lewis gun. The game needs some 50 cal compressed anti-tank rifle. Is that an anti-tank rifle? That's an anti-tank rifle!
Made in God's image. And so as the Father has created mankind, so must mankind create the United States military. Dude, this is exactly what I play third-person action
This is why how we know this is an allegory for America.
Away from my mouth and I'm currently failing.
Came into a foreign land with enough weaponry to make Fort Knox jealous.
We have to first integrate our literally hundreds of choices with thousands of variations to consider, such as
Okay, so you could use a bunch of fantastical weapons. Or you could use this Car 98 that I just found. Power of hopes and dreams and a little bit of magic versus gunpowder. I know what I'm choosing.
I want the weapon skill that gives me damage when I roll 3 times every 20 seconds.
I guess that must make me a bitch.
Because bitches love cannons.
Pieces of a specific armor set that also gives me resistance to impairments to mobility while in water, oil, silt,
cannon that allows you to exterminate enemies with extreme prejudice.
Into our myriad of builds with a great deal of important considerations.
That converts alive bitches into dead bitches.
Or status effect. Unless, of course,
and
you are
alive
playing as a
monsters into
gun,
pants.
in which case your weapon element is also going to be gun. Now, I won't be getting into every element because, dear God, what is this shit?
Like, I thought people who actively played Pokemon more types were the autistic type. Yeah, no, I just want to shoot gun. I don't want to have to learn an entire periodic table of what makes monster get slightly more electro-stimmed more than others. If I'm gonna blow a monster, I'm gonna blow a monster. I don't want to think about how I'm gonna blow the monster. I just know I'm gonna blow the monster up.
But my favorite selections of elemental damage would have to include the dragon element, which is a type of animal and not a primordial force, Capcom. The blast element, because every monster is weak to my B-powered hand
grenade. The femboy element. Femboy's blasting
and
pussy.
by far the funniest element in the entire game, the sleep element, which is used to prank all the monsters by waiting for them to fall asleep and then placing a deadly amount of high explosive barrel.
I once had a game where I went in and the other person I was in with asked me not to attack the boss ever. And they proceeded to kill this creature by constantly sleeping it and then exploding it with TNT. Now, I could have started attacking, but I thought this was far more amusing, considering at the same time I was also trying to file my taxes. So I got to have a show whilst deal with my own fears.
Directly in front of their faces.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my God!
As the founding fathers intended.
Can I use my heaviest hitting attack on him?
Yeah, sure, whatever you want, man.
I think this might deal...
I think I hit the wrong button, by the way.
I gotta put this away fast.
No, you don't.
Ready when you are, Max. You detonate.
Tell my wife that I was goated with the sauce.
All right, just place the bomb. All right,
amazing. This is the way.
I have a lot of clips involving bombs. So
as you should. It's guys, this is what we mean by it's not about the damage you do. It's about the mental trauma you cause by doing it. And there's nothing more trauma-inducing than literal weapons-grade nuclear explosions. The monsters will remember that, you'll remember that, and the local wildlife will remember that.
Now that we have a good
They will
understanding of
fear
our
you.
many implements of
Like
peaceful
how the
relocation,
NRA
it is time
fear,
for us to take our domestic violence
any
international
common
and
sense.
replace our casual disregard for animal life with a ranked competitive one instead. Because to truly combat the animals of Monster Hunter, you must not only know yourself, know your weapon, know your armor build, and know which mushroom color corresponds to which buffs, like a very unhealthy game of Simon Says, but must also understand the
Eats the wrong mushroom. Your teammate. Why are you blue?
incredibly violent ecosystem
Why am I
in
blue?
which we hunt, as well
Yes!
as the
Another
gigantic
video,
living
another
PC
Breaking Bad
destroyers that
reference.
choose to inhabit it. So with the understanding that I have thus far forgotten to show the monsters now in mind, please allow me to describe to you the content of these monster hunting wilds, and why half of it makes absolutely no logical sense, both geographically as well as constitutionally.
Mr. Max0r, you used the word common sense in the franchise where you, in the same video, mentioned that you can play as a character from Street Fighter in a place where there are no streets. You rebutted yourself, good man.
Starting, of course, with
The Boring Lands! I'm still playing Monster Hunter Worlds, but I don't want to admit it
sand-laden
lands.
dunes of the Windward Plains, one of the most horrifically hostile locations known to mankind due to its seasonal tendency to jump between the likes of
Insert a Caelid
violent
reference.
sandstorms,
Come on, give us a
apocalyptic
Caelid
lightning
reference.
hurricanes, and a special kind of weather condition exclusive to this game called the GPU Lone Tornado, in which the environment is so brimming with the miracle of life that the sheer number of on-screen animals will
Once
make your
again,
PC
fighting
beg
your
for the sweet
computer
release
and
of
the
death
power
more
of
than the monsters that are
Capcom's
contained
inability
within.
to
This
optimize the
area is
game.
home to a bunch of silly little guys whose primary defense against human predation is that they are so stupid and so absolutely worthless that you will be forced to question.
Now listen, you're just describing me there. My ability of being so worthless and so stupid isn't a fault. It's a survival mechanism. Because if people are going to feel so sorry for me that they're not going to want to kill me, I'm the superior being because I'm still alive, unlike you who were so smart and big that they came around to hunt you for your superiority. It's a survival mechanism, okay?
Why you were even hunting them in the first place. You guys baked a stupid fucking rotisserie chicken for me. I'm playing Minecraft. This shit is just like Steve's lava chicken. Holy shit.
I love this attack. This is so cool.
Oh my god. With the only exception being the insanely aggressive biological war crime known only as Ray Dow, who has a face that transforms into a gigantic railgun, which he uses almost
Literally Metal Gear.
exclusively on every other monster found within a 10-mile radius. This is why we have to kill
Fuck
you,
this
dude.
guy in particular.
You're fucking up the ecosystem. Oh, please, God, don't kill him. Please don't kill him. No, 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 no. He was so young. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. Lightning pterodactyls just got beef today.
Oh, Max!
The Scarlet
Amazing.
Forest is the
Amazing.
crowded and
This is the way.
exceptionally vertical.
So they want you to believe that Scarlet Forest is a terrifying place. It's actually the best place to be because it's filled with femboy monsters. You got the spider femboy, you got the monkey femboy. All the monsters in there have metaphorical femboy personas. And I, for one, go around making sure they're all getting anyway.
Home to most of the fresh water on the entire planet Earth, varying greatly in gameplay between the blue water season, the blood water season, and the flood water season, during which times about the same
And yet, this place still isn't as moist as I am after somebody gifts a tier 3 sub. Ha!
variety of monsters can be found at basically any time. This area is home to a bunch of horrifically vibrant death machines, who are as violent, ruthless, and terrifying as they are exceptionally stupid to look at, with some of my favorites being the nefarious Yonkuku.
You're gonna love this one. Just wait till you see what he does next.
Dude, that's his 4th tail whip attack.
Enjoying the hunt so far, Hunter? Resharpen your
They're
weapon.
silly
You'll
little
love this
guys.
next
Sometimes
attack.
they just want to do attacks that are
This
silly.
is like the only move he does. It's insane. I broke it.
It's
Oh,
literally
no!
against the wall.
Yeah, I broke the Yonkuku. He's broken. I don't even know how this...
So this is what happens when you're a hammer user and you've traumatized one of the creature's amygdala. Yeah, their fear response no longer activates, and the only thing that they can understand is run. Poor creature. Put it out of its misery right now.
this happens. The funny fire hose fox that can instantly kill endgame builds in one singular attack. What the fuck am I even skinning you for? While also forcing you to hilariously slip and slide around the fight by covering your body in an inconvenient amount of soap. Oh, please, God help me, I've been hit with the shower status effect. It does critical damage against gamers. As well as the gigantic pink monkey who primarily attacks your party by farting and shitting on them.
Pyrocynical? That's why they played this game. Yeah, Pyrocynical wasn't interested, but they saw this and were like, ooh.
Which you have to believe me is not a mod and is an actual feature in the game, proving definitively that the Scarlet Forest is the closest.
Also proving definitively that Capcom are so unfiltered that they've stopped any kind of pretense pretending like this game isn't just a poorly disguised list of kinks from them. There's vor, there's scat, there's feet, there's women, there's oppression, there's colonialism. This entire game is one big checklist of Capcom's kinks.
Thing that God has made to a mistake.
And inflation.
The oil well basin is frankly the scariest goddamn ecosystem I have ever seen in a Monster Hunter game, and the sheer implication of its very existence frankly threatens the peaceful continuation of all life on this planet. Functioning as the environmental equivalent of a full-scale nuclear meltdown, while leaking enough carbon into the atmosphere to make the combined output of every Chinese steel mill look like an absolute
Warframe mentioned. Warframe mentioned. Warframe mentioned. Dying on the inside. Warframe mentioned.
Look like an absolute fucking
The day
joke.
that Max0r does a video on Warframe, I will officially unsubscribe.
An entire ocean's worth of straight up crude oil before some guy eventually decides to light a single cigarette and causes all the oil to violently explode over a period of 6 entire months. Come visit the oil well basin. We are a country-sized gas leak. Consequently, the animals that live in the oil well basin are very disturbing in design.
Also, if you listen closely when you're in that land, you can hear the sound of Team America's anthem in the background. America.
Who has the body of a wacky-waving inflatable arm-flailing tube man, but can deflate himself extremely easily because his hands are...
But also has the best outfit out of any of the monsters in the game, because it makes you look like a plague doctor. Also inflates you big and round, ooh-woo.
Made of swords, with a guy consisting entirely of crude oil, which, as you will recall, is on fucking fire for half the year, and whose primary natural enemy is an extremely angry, exploding gorilla. Oh fuck, I made a mistake. Bro goes to the gym in a goddamn landmine. I don't know what this is. Please don't expect me to know what this is.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's his body slam.
What the fuck?
As well as the example of the funny computer melting octopus, who has the unique mechanic of purposefully attacking your computer with 10,000 different...
And also has the unique ability of turning regular Japanese schoolgirls into pregnant Japanese schoolgirls. And me.
Different particle effects, so as to crash the device drivers of anyone that is currently fighting him. I don't even know what the fuck I'm fighting.
I also delight in the irony that I have very much chosen this monster's colors. I am very much Nudra pilled today. Suffice to say, Nudra was the last monster that I helped repopulate.
There's too many particle effects in this goddamn game. Won't someone please think of the YouTube bitrate? Oh, Jesus Christ, he's firing the computer killer again.
The algorithm.
Crap, is so innovative with their gameplay, I genuinely feel threatened right now. They made it so the boss actually heats up your room while fighting him. I would like to revise my previous opinion. This is the closest thing that God has made to a mistake. The Ice Shard Cliffs is the confusing-to-navigate, snow-covered nightmare realm primarily populated by increasingly aggressive apes and awfully alarming arachnids, featuring 2 extremely diverse seasons that I can definitely tell the difference between, both of which are some variety of cold and exceptionally gray. This area features a multifarious selection of amazingly demonic entities, which provides a very unique contrast with the...
and the best monster in the whole ass game.
Single enemy who is a completely normal monkey for some reason, whom I will remind you is unlocked for our hunting convenience after fighting the dragon that is made out of other dragons. Why does this fight even exist in the game? What is even the possible utility of hunting this thing? And who is this fight actually supposed to be for?
Ooh, do you want me to answer that? Because, there's some problematic connotations here.
The answer is me. I had to skin 5 of them alive specifically for this joke. I am so fucking sick of tempered Rathalos, dude. Can we just like, can we just go beat a monkey to death with a baseball bat or something, dude? It is really important to me. It's what I do to unwind. By the way, that voice you keep hearing in the background is my brother. He's not very talkative, but he has killed 23 Nursillas. And he's not going to stop anytime soon. The Ice Shard Cliffs also contains one of the most angry and aggressive demons that you can possibly...
There they are. That's my baby, Gormagala. My favorite monster in all of the Monster Hunter games. Why? Because it's purple.
...encounter in this game. This is Gormagala, and he does not care where you are, does not care what you are currently fighting, and certainly does not care how many times you have already...
And you know what? It's not all this that makes him the best. It's the fact that he doesn't pay his taxes. The absolute unit! He doesn't give a damn about anything. He doesn't give a damn about you. He doesn't give a damn about the rules. And he certainly doesn't give a damn about the fact that he's only supposed to be keeping a 50-meter distance because there's a restraining order. But much like Gormagala, I don't pay attention to the rules. And Gormagala will get bread whether he likes to or not.
Tried to escape him. If Gormagala is
It
even
will help
remotely on the
repopulate
same
its race.
planet as you, he is going to kill the monster that you are already trying to hunt before moving on to facilitating your convenient commute to the afterlife. Oh, hi, little guy. What the fuck are you doing here? What's up? Why does bro have beef with the concept of personal space, dude? We are kind of busy fighting the nuclear apparition that is passing out in the corner. Gormagala, this is no time to do back shots with a bomb. That was the third time.
You realize why though? It's because it's sad, you know? It's just upset that you gave any other, like, the Gormagala is the yandere of all monsters. Because the second you give any other monster any other attention, it gets jealous and tries to take your attention back to it, as it should be. Just like how I'm always getting your attention.
He attacked us in the same hunt, and the fourth one made me crash the fuck out.
Here, let me give you attack up.
Hi, Gormagala. What are you doing here for the fourth time in a fucking row? What's going on, man? Welcome back to the fight. My penis was almost unshredded today. I had to do so much audio engineering to make that sound good, by the way, because the original was kind of...
Oh my god.
I'm going around the whole arena. I'm running suicides. The fitness grand pacer test.
We'll now begin the push-up section.
Damn. So the game either fucks you up or the Twitter compression makes you sound like that. Damn.
The Ruins of Wyveria is a uniquely magical, utterly bizarre kingdom founded on the remnants of a now extinct and highly advanced civilization, brought low and eventually destroyed by their hubris when,
really going with some new strokes of plot, aren't
like
we?
healthcare or basic
Being original
firearms,
today, sir.
funneled their immense brilliance into crafting living, fire-breathing
Such a cool
bioweapons
fight.
with a reputation for destroying entire ethnicities, only to become surprised when it turns out that arming your own ecosystem was not a sustainable investment strategy. As a result of this, Wyveria contains a wide selection of highly volatile constructed infants to fight with a lot of modifiers preceding their names. Yes, I am looking at you, Tempered Guardian Ebony Odogarin, as well.
What is that name? It's like people in World of Warcraft who have like way too many titles on their character. I am Makari, Sir Esquire Reginald Dragon Slayer Monster Fucker the Third Esquire, and you shall address me as such.
Well as a completely random selection of monsters pulling from the most annoying population of every surrounding region, including but not limited to a lot of animals that definitely should not be in Tyrannosaurus Alley right now, as well as the monsters that shredded my asshole open in every other area of this game, now migrating to Martin Luther King Boulevard to put the ops on site again. Ha 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 ha!
Eat! Eat!
Okay.
Should have stuck to it, pussy.
Kyle, what the fuck are you even talking about? I literally don't think I have to take the... What is he doing? What is he fucking doing? What is he doing?
Being a cute little,
Get the
cute little
fuck
guy.
down from there. Okay, Squidward, I'm gonna show you my big ass clarinet real fast. Yes! I better not catch you with the fucking bubble bowl again, dude. Oh. Where'd he go? Don't fuck. Don't
Right
fuck.
there.
Like right before
They're
he dropped
always
down on
in
me, I
your
was like, oh,
peripheral.
where'd he go?
He's gonna
Never
crash down
gone
again.
and never forgotten. But always
So
watching.
to end our extensive deep dive into the secrets of mass extinction and my intellectual thesis on how to best accelerate it, you may have come to the conclusion that this game seems slightly complicated and of fairly considerable girth. But I can't...
That's it. That's it. No, there's no further statement to be made. This game seems complicated and really confusing. That's it. That is it. That's because it is. There is no rebuttal. There's no counter. That is it. The game is confusing. The game is not made for the average player. The game is made to absolutely ridicule you in every way, shape, and form. And you are destined to like it because you have Stockholm Syndrome.
I can assure you, there is absolutely no need to worry about that, as I have extensively documented this game for hundreds of hours and still don't know what is happening in it. Fortunately, through the glorious advent
really
of
know what's
online
happening in a Capcom
multiplayer,
game?
my personal weaknesses can be swiftly transformed into problems for the entire team.
And anyone that says that they do is lying.
Because contrary to your initial impressions, Monster Hunter is more than just a game about hunting monsters, but is instead a grand, collaborative exercise in a most collective confusion, prominently exemplified by the fact that the main method of communication with your team is an arcane system of development.
I do have to say, I respect the crap out of the fact that they put zero filter on these. The amount of racial obscenities, homophobic, and Islamic slang that I have seen put on these things is absurd. Do Capcom care? No. And I think that's amazing.
Developers sanction memes, which you can send at any time to anyone in your party, serving all of your articulation obligations with a funny variety of insane messages, used in situations like when your friend is beating himself off, when you need your friend to stop beating himself off, when you yourself have finished beating yourself off, when you have a brilliant idea, when you need to express radical political sensibilities.
He's just saying what I said, but with extra words.
Hunt Tua. Your execution date is tomorrow, and when your dad is telling you why he left the family all those years ago.
Milk and Dad!
Subsequently, after finishing what this game calls a story and entering our final location of the video, we will be able to choose from a wide assortment of normal and non-violent activities, such as going bowling with a series of non-violent
What's more upsetting is the fact they don't give you more than like 2 tokens a day for that. Diabolical.
Explosives, arm wrestling your friends while a random person.
By the way, no one's ever beaten me in arm wrestling in this game. And if you have the ability to, I will gift you a sub to my channel. My wanker's cramp has given me a superpower to never lose at arm wrestling.
Gets a little too close. Investigate your psychotic friends' custom profiles to discover that they have for some reason killed 244 Arkvelds and really want you to know about it, as well as use a variety of emotes to express yourself, which are infinitely repeatable and extremely loud for some reason. I am in hell. This is hell.
Max, there's a
This
war
is
outside.
Capcom.
Hurry!
Genuinely, how are you allowed to do this? Me, when I set fire to the local Walmart, I told the judge it was just an emote. Also, in one of the greatest choices ever made by a developer, our Gathering Hub comes built in with actual musical theater, featuring a serious and lore-significant performance that concludes with a gigantic flashbang. Oh! Holy shit, it's so bright! Greatly enhanced and enriched in every single way.
Oh my god, I can't believe they got Iron Mouse in the game.
Yeah, merely by the fact that you and your friends can aggressively pelt fireworks directly into the vocalist for the duration of the entire show. Hatsune Miku, please, I am your biggest fan. I just wanted to show my appreciation. Overall, the thing that makes Monster Hunter great is not just limited.
The thing that makes Monster Hunter great is that it helps call out people who are autistic enough to play it. And I, for one, like the fact there is a game made for me.
To the combat, but rather is a complex ritual of preparation, cultivation, cooperation, and acceleration, where actual strategy is more of a suggestion and biology is barely a mention, a place where fashion matters much more than function, and the difference between a successful hunt and
somebody at Capcom knew what they were doing when they designed this thing's forehead to look like a puckered, prolapsed anus. Because then when you jam your goddamn sword in it, Well, I needn't have to talk about the symbology there.
Hunt and total disaster
Like
is
I said,
whether or not I ate an
Capcom will
egg
very well.
today.
This is a very poorly disguised list of kinks and degeneracy.
Moral of the story is, the real hunt is the friends that we made along the way. And ultimately, what's actually important is not that you understand Monster Hunter, but rather, you just need to look like you do. That is it for this
Exactly.
video, guys. Please buy the cup and mouse pad. And to fool YouTube into thinking that this is a good video, please leave a very nice comment about how you were extremely satisfied with the quality of the Max0r experience. As always, more insane gacha game content to come. And I
Oh no.
sincerely hope that this game will consume your life slightly less than it has consumed mine.
Alright, well, Max0r, that was a fantastic video. I always like your level of tism, and I had a good time. One's in the chat if you had a good time too, and if you guys enjoy this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and come by my streams. Make sure you go and subscribe to Max0r, and I guess now we have to wait another 6 months for the next video. Also, sub count on YouTube, getting quite high. Might be 100,000 subs soon. Smile, wink, wink. Anyway, bye!